Nah, I hope I'm right with my 16.
No, I
Actually, you know what? I hope I am wrong and he comes 20th.
No, that's horrible thing to say. How dare you? Lance should come 20th.
Actually, good point. Lance should come 20th.
So, look, I'll accept 16th for
Okay.
Oscar. I want him to be better. Originally, can I just say before this, I had 20th and 19th, Lando, and then Oscar in 19th.
That's fair. That's what I would have had.
That's what I originally came out with. I was like,
The criteria Latifi needs to do to get re-signed, not get last. Oh, Spa's back. And lights out and away we go. And Lewis Hamilton is halfway to space.
Personally, go IndyCar over Williams.
Yeah,
At this point.
Grosjean Zhu?
Guan Yu.
Guan Yu Zhou.
Guan
Yu Zhou. No,
Zhou
Zhou Guan
Guan
Yu.
Yu.
I said that the first time. George was already sitting in that seat.
look, I don't agree with it, but you've asked a question. I'm trying to find a way to
And
justify
I'm just
it.
trying to absolutely tear your answer apart.
G'day and welcome to Formula Bums. My name is Jacko, and with me, as always, is my friend Andy. How
Hey,
you
mate.
going, man?
I'm good.
You good?
Yeah.
We're doing a short one today. We're doing our 20-1.
What do you reckon the title should be? 20-1? Wasn't that a TV show in Australia like back in the 90s?
It was early 2000s when we were growing up, bro. It was
I don't
Bert
watch it.
Newton,
Yeah, I thought it was Bert.
and they would pick like a topic, like 20-1 funniest home videos, 20-1 one-hit wonders, and he would kind of... It was essentially what YouTube became.
Ah,
The
so it's just
style.
a listing thing, and then they turned a game show into it, wasn't it? Or was it just him?
Just him. And they'd have like guests who would be like shot.
Australian TV sucks.
It's not good. Like
how,
our two-
how is it that our top entertainment of the early 2000s?
I don't know if it was top, but like I think top were like Neighbours and Home and Away, and they're even worse.
They're not top.
They brought back Hey It's Saturday on a Wednesday, and that sucked.
Yeah, well, for starters, it's on a Wednesday. That's not the right time. It's a Saturday show.
Yeah, look, Australian telly's not good. That's why we watch international sports
Yeah.
and talk about them instead. Look, we're going to start in last place. Who we think is going to come last? We're going to go all the way down to who we think's first, and then we're going to do the same for the teams. I normally don't put much thought into anything I say or write. However, today, I think I calculated my team list based on my positions for the driver order. I tried to make them link up. I didn't want to have like someone in first and second and then say that they overall came third.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I've done a little bit of work on that. We weren't going to do the news. There's not much.
There's only one piece of news, which is actually not news. It's comedy gold.
Only comedy gold because he's not that hurt. But Lance Stroll fell off his push bike.
Can't even operate a child's toy.
I mean, I think he said in his statement from the hospital bed that like a Ferrari pulled out of him in front of him dangerously or something like that is normal excuse.
Ah,
Also that, and that apparently the Aston Martin is like way too quick according to all the data that people have managed to gather.
people from Aston Martin have managed to gather. I want to point that out.
Okay.
It's only what Aston Martin is telling us. We'll know later today, time of recording though.
Yeah, so as we sit here on a Thursday, the testing begins, and it's really convenient for Australia. It's 5:50 in the afternoon.
Yeah, it's prime time.
It's actually unreal. So if we could get more things organised at this time, make our lives a lot easier.
I know, right?
Do you want to? Let's start with 20.
Okay.
I'll go first.
I got a feeling it's the same.
Logan Sargent.
Logan Sargent.
Yeah, all right.
It's only because he's in a Williams and a rookie.
Pretty much.
That's the only reason I put him 20th. I couldn't put him any higher.
Because we said last week, that Williams is going to be better.
Yes.
But we also said that pretty much everybody but McLaren is going to be better.
Yeah.
I like him. He's not an F2 champion. The current champion, Felipe Drugovich, I don't know what he's doing. I
He's
think
Aston Martin's reserve driver.
he's Aston Martin's reserve driver.
Because someone has a tied down seat at Aston Martin, and until they get rid of him, Felipe will be the reserve.
He nearly got rid of himself. We were close. I want Logan to do well.
Yeah. Who doesn't?
Yeah.
Canada doesn't.
Probably not. But hey, we'll see what happens. What are you going to say though? Do you reckon points or no points?
No. Unfortunately, I don't see points.
See, I reckon no more than 5.
I don't think points for
A
him.
scraping of points. And that's not through sheer pace. That's through like there will be a race where 7 people crash out in one race.
Yeah, rain is bound to happen, and they're going to bound to let them race a little bit too long.
So I reckon he'll get a couple. 19th though.
I got Nico Hulkenberg.
I've got Nico Hulkenberg too. I guess it's got to be for the same reason, right? It's a Haas, and it's his first year back.
Literally.
He's got a nice looking helmet, though. The helmet designs came out, and
Did
they're
you-
all really colourful this year.
Actually, did you see Valtteri's testing helmet?
Yeah, the one with the mullet.
Yeah, the one that's Valtteri Bottas in cartoon form.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
Love it.
That man has... We all thought he was a boring Finnish dude. It just turned out he was heaps depressed at Mercedes.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
the dude's hilarious and having a lot of fun now. Well, we should go to 18. We agree on everything to this point. I bet you
we agree with this one too.
All right, on 3. 1, 2, Yuki
Lance.
Tsunoda.
I got Lance.
I got Yuki.
I got Lance because he can't drive. And nor ride a push bike, apparently.
I've got Yuki because he can't drive. And I don't think there's a push bike small enough for him. I think they only come in trikes at his height.
That's kind of funny.
So, look, I want the AlphaTauri to be better this year.
According to everyone online, it's one of the worst looking cars this year.
The front needs a little bit more blue, but I think it's stunning. I've always liked the AlphaTauri. Like, it's matte white and navy. It's beautiful.
With red, though.
Yeah,
Red?
nice accents.
No.
Yes. Look, I put Yuki in 18th. Hopefully he gets that low and they fire him. I don't hate the kid. I don't think he should be staying in the sport much longer.
I've got a little anecdote. So I recently restarted F1 Manager and I rolled a D10 to pick my team. And it just so happened that I picked AlphaTauri off the roll.
Nice, good team.
I made it to Australia today and I decided to fly Yuki because he couldn't score points. I got to Australia and went, nah, Nick De Vries is heaps cheaper, eh?
Yeah. I've got Nick De Vries a bit higher up.
Me too.
But, yeah, look, if this season is as competitive as we think it's going to be,
Yuki's going to flounder.
he's going to flounder. He's prone to make mistakes under pressure or not under pressure.
With Daniel Ricciardo behind him.
Yep. I don't see like a disaster year for him, but I don't see a particularly good year. I hope AlphaTauri gets better. It's a great team.
Yeah.
17.
Yuki.
Yeah, good choice. Good choice. I went Alex Albon.
Oh. That's a little shocking.
Look, it wasn't... There was a spot to fill at 17 and I had a driver I had to put there.
Fair.
I really like him. I've made it clear. Every episode we've pretty much ever done that he's one of my favourite. He's loved by the sport. I want him to do good things. That Williams is going to be better. I think the other cars around it are also going to be better, kind of negating the gains they're bringing. I think he'll get a fair chunk of points, but I still, you know what I mean? I don't see Williams next year, you know what I mean? They're my next year team.
So for my 17, obviously I got Yuki for the exact same reasons as you. I don't think he'll do that well. I just don't like Lance, so that's why Lance is 18.
I don't like him either, but
I know he can do well in a good car. I don't expect Lance to do 18th. I hope Lance does 18th. Is more that pick.
Well, me too, man. Like I want a couple of my picks to be wrong, but this was me actually trying to be smart about something on this show for once.
I did this in about 5 minutes.
Oh, mine only took me 5 minutes. That's how smart I am.
I was also doing 15 other things at work at the same time, and I was just like, I need to write this down real quick.
No, I just
Yours definitely has a lot more thought into it than mine this year.
I'm okay with that. That's a big change of the script. Look, 16, mate.
Piastri.
Yeah, fair.
We've heard what McLaren's saying. It's not going to be as good this year. If he's a rookie coming in a shit car, he'll get points, I imagine, but there's only so much he can do.
Look, I can't disagree with what you're saying. I've slotted him in a decent chunk higher.
Fair enough.
I've got very high expectations. Do I actually expect they'll come to fruition? No, probably not. He should probably be where I put Alex Albon.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking.
But I've put him up there. That's like my one heart pick of the year. I will do anything to see that kid succeed. I know you're off him.
I'm definitely off him.
I know you're off him. I'm on him.
Fair enough. Well,
I've bumped him up a little bit.
Who's in 16 for you then?
You're not going to like this one because I reckon you'll think I'm ridiculous. I put Nick De Vries in 16.
Yeah, I don't like that.
Yep.
I don't like that.
Look, I know he's a world champion in Formula E.
He's a world champion, full stop.
I know.
And an F2 world champion. Didn't he win it that year?
Yes.
Yeah, so
Convincingly.
So you're going to have a double world champion, theoretically.
Yep.
You're crazy.
I think he'll drive really well. Do I think the AlphaTauri will be better than the others considering how bad they were last year? No. I think the car's the limiting factor when it comes to Nick's performance this year.
Yeah, but so was it last year and he came ninth.
That's actually a good point. I'm probably going to be very wrong on this one.
I hope you are, because I think Nick's a world champion caliber driver.
So do I. But again, there was a number 16. There was someone that had to go there.
Fair enough.
Who'd you say for 16? You had Oscar.
I had Oscar.
Look, I hope we're both wrong.
No, I hope I'm right with my 16.
No, I
Actually, no, I hope I am wrong and he comes 20th.
No, that's a horrible thing to say. How dare you? Lance should come 20th.
Actually, good point. Lance should come 20th.
So, look, I'll accept 16th for
Okay.
Oscar. I want him to be better. Originally, can I just say before this, I had 20th and 19th, Lando, and then Oscar in 19th.
That's fair. That's what I would have had.
That's what I originally came out with. I was like, fuck him, McLaren's going to be bad this year. They've already said it. However, then I started going a little bit off the deep end because I've had a stressful week. I went, well, they're a Mercedes-powered unit. They're probably sandbagging. McLaren world champion?
No. It'll be Lando if they win it.
Yeah, that's some foreshadowing. You will be surprised by my number one pick.
Oh, it's Lando Norris. I'm shocked at that.
It is 15th.
Alex. I got Albon in 15th.
I like it. I'll take it. 100%. I will take that any day of the week. I think it's a nice spot for him.
I think he's more talented than the 5 drivers behind him.
I think he's more talented than a lot of the people on the field.
And the thing that'll limit him is the car. But if the car is better, as they are saying, and with the brain of James Vowles there, Alex 15th is very achievable.
And I want it to be achievable. But look, as I said earlier, I'm giving Williams my next year is when I'm going to like severely bump them up the charts. I've been a supporter for so long and I've seen changes like this in the past, not to this caliber, and it's been much of the same. So I don't know. Look, for 15 for me, I went Lance Stroll.
That's too high.
It's too high for where I want him. But if this car's what they're saying it is,
15th is achievable. But the problem is Lance can drive a good car good.
I know. And that's why I put him 15th. Because I think everyone else can drive a good car better.
Yeah, that's,
like, you know
better.
what I mean? Like, yes, every now and then he can pull something out of his ass. But
especially in the wet.
Oh, once. Twice. All right, twice. 2 times he did well in the wet. That's it. Everyone's like, oh, he's a master in the wet. Really? He did it twice.
Look at Canada last year.
Yeah.
Literally look at Canada last year when it was wet and he still went out in Q1.
Yeah. Like, yes, it was was it Turkey where he...
Yeah, he put it on pole in Turkey.
Yep,
in the
there was
wet.
that. And then Checo won that.
And then, no, Lewis won that.
Oh, whatever.
And then there was Monza when he got on the front row in a Williams, and what happened with that?
Nothing. No, it was like when me, you, and Cam raced the other day. I know this is off topic, but
we
never
talked
spoke
about this last year, actually.
Did we?
We did.
He still won't race me anymore. He doesn't talk to me much.
Yeah, he doesn't message in the chat no more.
He really hurt his feelings. 14th.
Nick.
I like it.
I think Nick's 14th is very achievable.
Yeah. And it's not unrealistic.
And if we assume the car is as dog shit as last year, it's still outperforming that.
Yeah. And I reckon every car's better this year. It'd just be whose car is actually more competitive, because I think everyone's improving. We've seen that. I mean, everybody is looking like they're driving a Red Bull.
Yeah.
So it's going to be better.
Theoretically.
I went Joe. I like him. I mean, I think I was his biggest defender last year. Every opportunity I had to come out and say how much I liked him, I liked him. Do I think he's a world-class driver? Does he have a championship in him? Absolutely not.
No.
Do I think the Alfa Romeo Sauber is better?
Yes. That's why he's significantly higher on my list. It's only because of the car. It's not because of what I think of him.
Yeah, and I think that the Alfa Romeo is going to be better, but I think people in cars that are either comparative or slightly worse will have the ability in the drive to outperform him.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah. So that's why I've slotted him at 14th. I think my next two is going to shock you. Those are the two that I really weighed up.
My next one might shock you.
What's your 13?
We up to 13?
Yeah, we just did 14.
Yeah,
Yours
shit.
was Nick. Mine was.
Yeah,
Joe.
I've got K-Mag.
I like it.
I think the Haas will be better.
Yep.
But they said that the car was better last year and it was still dog shit on 70% of the tracks.
But that 30%,
That 30% was really good.
fantastic.
So I think if they can improve another 30% this year and they got 60% of the tracks they're okay at.
Okay, so you're going like gradual growth and things like that.
Gradual
I like it.
growth.
I mean, I'm not okay with any of that. But no.
But K-Mag's a better driver than that position.
Yeah, definitely. And I've popped him not much higher, but slightly higher because I'm like, you know what, last year, every opportunity he had a chance to perform, he blew us away with what he's capable of. Did you expect him to come back with such form?
No.
No,
It was a
me neither.
Viking comeback.
Yeah, just showed up, started killing it, got the pole. Like, I'd put a little bit of money on him doing some pretty awesome shit this year. And I want him to do well because he's never really had a car to show his talent in because he's bloody good.
Well, he'll do good in the first race. He did well in the first race last year. Apparently the car works at Bahrain.
Is it because of, like, they do the shakedown and the testing there?
I don't know, maybe.
Are they testing there this year?
Yeah, it's at
Yeah,
Bahrain.
Because it was traditionally Spain.
Used to be Spain, yeah, but this year it's just like it's in Bahrain and then next week's the first round in Bahrain.
Which, like, it makes sense. Everyone then's acclimatized. You're not, it's hot there. They race at night time.
But they're racing during the day during the fucking testing.
I know, dude. That's got to be hot because, like,
Car gonna go bang.
and, like, in supercars and NASCAR and, like, closed body vehicles, a lot of them wear ice vests and they have airflow and things like that. You don't get that here.
What do you mean? You're driving into air. There's no shield up. There's your aircon. It's the wind.
Yeah, but what part of you is it touching? You're wearing, like, what, 6 layers and fancy underpants and a helmet? Lift your visor.
Lift your visor a little bit. You get a bit of airflow.
Man, I'm just saying that, like, your eyelids would peel back, man.
Oh, probably.
And that's me. Look, it's going to be hot.
It's going to be hot.
It's going to be really hot. Look, 13th for me. Oscar Piastri.
Wrong.
Probably.
Wrong.
Probably.
Yeah.
However,
It shocks me how wrong you are.
let a man dream. I don't think it should shock you after doing so many episodes together about the way my brain works.
No, it doesn't, but still wrong.
I believe.
In the heart of the cards. Do you think he's going to draw Exodia?
So you get a reference. I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
No,
Look,
he's only going to get the Dark Magician, isn't he? That's
he's probably going to
beatable.
pull out Little D. But I want Oscar to come out in his rookie year and cement the entire world that Australia has 2 of the best F1 drivers hanging around the grid. One on there and one that will soon be on there. I want it real bad. Stop looking at me like that, you dickhead. I'm right. I'm confident. I'm going out there.
If he wanted to be good, he would have stayed at Alpine.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we thought it was ridiculous he was leaving. Like, that was a whole shit show, that whole situation. But that's where I put him. 12, though, is where I put Lando Norris.
That's actually where I put Lando Norris.
Okay, sweet. So I'm not that dumb.
No, you're not. I think you are because you put Oscar that high. But no, I put Lando there because I think Lando's proven he can outperform a car. And Lando will consistently get the arse end of the 10.
Look, yes. However, I am going to hit you on one point. He's proven that he can outperform a McLaren because that's the only car he's ever driven.
Yeah.
Which is still true. But, we've seen drivers drive numerous vehicles and push them all beyond their limits. Lewis, I mean, he raced in like 2 or 3 teams.
No, only 2. He's only
2.
ever raced for McLaren and then the Mercedes.
Okay, that's 2. It's 1 more than Lando. And that's my only example I can think of. What I'm saying is, Lando ain't Lewis.
I mean, they're from the same country.
Yeah, look, I don't think McLaren wins anything by sandbagging. I genuinely think that if they had a fast car, they would be telling everybody about it.
Yeah, which is why I think it's going to be a dog shit car.
Yeah, it probably is. And the reason I've actually put him that high, despite all the things I say about him and how much I like hating him and ragging on him, he's a good driver. Like, he's a very good driver.
He's competent.
Very. like, I'd say more than competent. Do I think this kid could win a world championship? Yeah,
Yes.
given the car, absolutely. Like, I'll never like him, and he will hashtag not be my champion. Ever.
There's only one person on this grid that should be that.
Hashtag Lando sucks. But he's a very talented driver. I've said it. Don't at me. This is the last nice thing I'm ever going to say about him. He looks stupid in the photo. He's got a big forehead.
Yeah, that's fair. But you know who else had a big forehead?
Who?
Latifi.
He did.
He had a massive 5 head.
Dude, I'm like that, and that's 5 sausage fingers too. That's not like 5 normal fingers. 11th.
Guan Yu Zhou.
Okay.
I think the Alpha is decent this year without watching it on the track ever. And I think that car can push Zhou to 11th.
And this is coming from a man
Who shat on Zhou all last year. Yes, I am well aware of that.
No, it's nothing you say about Zhou. It was actually about something else you said last year. Right at the beginning, this time last year. Do you remember what you said?
Nah.
You guys are idiots. The Aston Martin is the dark horse. That car is going to come out.
I never said anything about the Aston
Yeah,
Martin.
you called it the dark horse.
No, it was the Alpha Tauri, you dickhead.
Whatever.
I never said anything nice about that.
Wait, no,
Aston
you
car.
said it was bad because it had the fat side pods.
Yes.
Don't worry about what I said then, I guess. 11th for me. Moving on to more positive news. Kevin Magnussen.
Now, I'd accept Kev there.
Yep. I look, I want to have him in my top 10. I want Nico in my top 10. But 11th is as far as that Haas can realistically push.
Yeah.
So I've sat him there because that's where I want to see him.
Fair enough.
Top 10, though. This is where the big boy money is.
I think we got the same for 10th.
Is it Valtteri?
No. Then no, we don't.
Okay, because I have Valtteri Bottas.
I have the shittest driver in the top 10 at 10. He's so shit you can't even think of him. You're like, oh, he's there when I tell you.
Yeah, Esteban Ocon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's who I have in 10th. Because that's about all he can do realistically.
Yep, the only reason VB's there is because while I do think the Alpha is going to be more competitive this year, I think they're going to not... Like, I think VB can get anywhere on the grid. Like, I can see him getting podiums. But I see the other teams being consistently consistent.
Yeah, okay.
And it breaks my heart because, like, there's a couple people in there I don't like and don't want to see do well. But 10th is respectable.
10th is respectable for
New
Valtteri.
team principal. Bunch of shit going on.
Didn't he get like 10th or 11th last year as well?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, so it's a
And
solid pick.
he is Mr. Consistent. He's always just doing really well. I mean, it is... The Alfa Romeo Sauber is my favourite looking car. Red and black. It's sexy as hell.
We didn't speak about the Mercedes. We'll do that at the end because the Mercedes and the Alpines that did get released.
I was right about the Alpines. 100% right.
We'll get to that at the end of it.
Yeah. Number 9, though.
No, I didn't get to say why I put Esteban there.
Because you hate him?
Yeah. But also, I think with Pierre there, and that Esteban's come out and said, no, we're both number 1 drivers. It's clear who the number 2 driver is this year.
Did he come out and say that?
He said that there's 2 number 1 drivers at Alpine, which means he's the number 2 driver.
Yep.
They're going to prioritize. They're going to prioritize Pierre at all costs.
It's that scene from, I don't know what show it is, how the lady's like, no, I care for both of you deeply, and then it cuts and she's like, I don't care for my
It's
son.
that 70s show.
Yeah, that one.
It's what is it? Fucking Kitty talking to Eric and Laurie.
Yeah.
And the cutaway is her talking to her. It's like, I do not like Laurie.
Yeah. And I was also thinking of the one from Arrested Development with the other mum.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that where she's like,
I don't like Job.
Yeah. Don't be ridiculous. I've never said I don't like him. It cuts is like, I don't care for Job.
Yeah.
That, like, they're like, no, we love both our kids equally. We send them to a basketball game together. Yeah, no. If you both think you're number 1, they just haven't told him.
They just haven't.
And we're like, we know Otmar's a pussy. Like, I like Otmar, but like, he's not good with confrontation. So he's just, Esteban's coming to me like, I'm number 1, right? And he's gone, yeah.
Sure, mate.
Sure. I had Esteban at 9.
I've got Valtteri at 9.
Yeah, okay, cool. So
I just can't put Valtteri behind Esteban.
The only reason I can put him in front is simply he is a very painful point getter. Very painful point getter. He always seems to get them.
He's always had to clean up the scraps, which annoys me.
Yep. Like, he just gets in the way and gets a couple of points here and there. And I think he'll do that every fucking race of this year. He will either be 10th, 9th, 8th, or 6th and scrape by.
I do have one prediction, and it comes up with my next pick. But I'll talk about that then, because Valtteri in 9th, because I just can't physically put him behind Esteban. I just can't.
Look, I admire...
I like Valtteri.
I like Valtteri too, and I admire your strength of character for not bending and breaking, but last year was so frustrating because he was always there, and the car was always there.
But I think this year, with Esteban going up against Pierre, there's going to be more butting heads, obviously. Esteban's going to want to beat Pierre. Pierre's coming into his backyard to be the big dog, let's be real.
Yep.
Esteban's going to be that little yappy dog that's like, no, this is my goddamn yard, and he will push it harder this year to beat Pierre, but will blow his car finally. He'll finally push it to the point where the car blows all the time.
Look, I hope so.
And there's a man in green driving around this year that has a disdain for him as well.
Yes, Fernando Alonso is, GOAT status of personality in the sport.
He's going to be like, you're gone.
He is.
There's going to come a point where it's like Russia, and he's just like, well, I'm just going to do it.
It's lap one.
It's lap one. It's a racing incident.
They won't get up me. They'll cut to his helmet cam. He's got one finger in there cranking the steering wheel and be like, I slipped. What do you want me to say? I slipped. I love Fernando Alonso.
Me too.
And it breaks my heart that I put him at 8th.
I actually put Fernando at 8th too. But
just in front of Ocon driving the train. Like, Fernando's in 8th, not because that's what the car will do. He's going to tank everyone behind him season because he thinks it's funny. That's it.
Mine's a tentative 8 because I did mine before I heard all the news out of Aston. But I left him there because Fernando's vindictive and will crash out with Ocon at least 4 times this year.
Four times is a lot.
Well, that's the only 4 times they ever come close to each other on track.
Right, yeah, no, fair. If that Aston's good,
Fernando will be good.
Yeah, and look, Fernando's going to be good regardless. Even if that Aston comes out the same as last year, he's going to do Fernando things in it. Nothing will stop him. Like, he has a unique ability to just not care about whatever the car's telling him to do and just drives it anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
8th would make me happy. Higher would make me ecstatic. But I think 8th. Everyone above him, except for the 7th, so pretty much from 6 and up, there was nowhere. It was interchangeable. It could be anybody.
No, that's how I feel, except for 3rd and 4th. I don't think that's interchangeable for me.
All right, fair enough. So you had Fernando at 8 as well.
I had Fernando at 8 because I think he's going to crash into Ocon 4 times on accident, and B, even if the car is good, there will be that temptation to train Monaco, to train any track he can, because he's a great train driver.
Yeah, and like Singapore, he'll be like, man, I'm just too hot. I'm going to kick back and just block the track for half the race.
Exactly.
Like, there'll be opportunities for him to just chill out. 7th.
Pierre Gasly.
Me too. Me too.
I had to do it because Danny's not this year.
Danny's not there. Can you imagine if Pierre gets a podium? Don't interview Pierre. Interview Danny. Like, Danny's number one hype man of Pierre.
Danny's the interviewer.
Oh. What? He needs to. Like, we've gotten rid of Paul di Resta and
we got rid of the devil
Johnny
himself.
Herbert. We need Danny on the mic. Let him do every interview. Every podium, we'll get a shoey every race because he'll be running up there with 3 shoes. Just like,
you got to do this one,
you're
doing this one.
You do it. Like, he'd be fantastic. I put Pierre in 7th. I rate Pierre. I didn't when I first started because I bought into like the Red Bull thing being like, oh, he's trash. But it turned out that Red Bull's just trash, which is why I like them.
Yeah.
Alpine was really good last year. They were best of the rest by far.
Yeah, easily.
I don't think they can make their car worse. I think they can only make it better.
They can. They could. The engine could blow up every race.
It could.
But I don't see that happening. And with Pierre there, it's a fresh face, fresh team. He's not under the Red Bull banner anymore.
He's the number one driver, as we've already discussed.
Exactly. Well, he was the number one driver last year.
At Alpine, yeah. No, he was 100% the number one driver last year.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess let's break it down a little bit. We've seen a podium or two.
I'd say if there is a podium to get and Pierre's in the
vicinity,
Pierre's going to do everything to take that podium, even if it means passing Ocon.
Oh, without a doubt.
The message will come over, Esteban, don't fight Pierre, and Esteban will be like, well, no, just don't fight.
Yeah. Yeah, but it won't be Otmar saying that. It'll be some random dude.
Of course.
Otmar doesn't like fighting. I so want Pierre to have the year that he deserves.
Oh, definitely.
Be unreal.
If Pierre was to finish in the top 5, I don't see it happening, but if he was to finish in the top 5 points, I'd be stoked for him.
100%. I don't think he'll ever join a team up from this, but I really want, and we spoke about it last year as well, the 100-race plan that Alpine's been working on. It is working. This is race like 20-something to 50-something.
Yeah, so he'll get halfway this year.
I think that they can turn themselves in because Renault's won championships before. I think they're on the path to possibly being able to do that again.
Yeah, I agree.
The only big risk is whether they adapt to the new engine regs in 2026. I don't think they'll get there before then, but if they can adapt to those regs and a couple of their competitors don't adapt as well, easily World Championship, I don't see Pierre going anywhere. I hopefully see Ocon going
to Formula E.
Yeah, Formula E. Put him back in F3 for all I fucking care. Put him back at the bottom and make him work.
Just don't send him to supercars.
No.
We don't want him.
How dare you? Why would you even say those words to me?
Because I just want it on record. He should never be in supercars.
Not at all. Let's do number 6.
I wonder if we're the same.
Carlos Sainz.
I've got Sergio. I personally believe this year the threat of Danny, the pressure of being at Red Bull, the 23-race season will finally crack Sergio.
Yep.
And I think this year, if Danny's numbers in the sim and on his whatever testing days he gets to do, if they're relatively decent, and by relatively I mean within a third of a second.
Yeah, a couple of tenths.
Not even a couple of tenths, like as close as he can to Sergio without beating Sergio, the temptation will be there for Christian to make the swap.
You're 100% correct. The reason I've sat Carlos in 6th is for not similar reasons, but similar style logic, right? I love Carlos Sainz. I think he's fantastic. I really like his dad too. He made mistakes last year in high-pressure situations. Yeah, a lot of the points he lost were from Ferrari being Ferrari, but there was Australia. There was another race or two where he either hit the gravel, hit the grass,
Spain.
Spain. I was going to say Spain, but I couldn't remember because I knew Leclerc blew up in Spain.
Yeah, no, and in Spain, he spun it onto the grass in the same place. Max spun it onto the grass.
Yeah.
But I think they kept going, and then something happened later on in Spain.
He ended up finishing like 5th or 6th, didn't he? He was down the order. But there was just a couple moments last year where I'm like, okay, you, out of that top group, you're the one who made the most errors. He's still a top 6 driver compared to everybody else.
But is that because of the car?
Part of it, yes. But this was the logic I took into it because it was very hard to separate at this point. Like, with what you said to me about Checo, I could easily swap my two and be completely fine with it. But that's how my brain let me pick him there. I was like, okay, out of those guys, you made the most mistakes. The car wasn't the best. Do I think you'll get better at both of those things? Maybe, but you're in at 6.
That's interesting. So I'm going to guess your 5th is Sergio.
Yep.
Well, my 5th's Carlos.
Yep.
For similar reasons, but also I just think that Ferrari this year is going to be better.
I really want it to be better.
So I'm sticking to what I said last week. I think by the end of the season, the Red Bull penalty with the aero and like the research and stuff, it's actually going to hamper them and they're going to start to drop back.
Yep. Yeah, look, it's completely valid. I've got Sergio there because I think he is a better driver than Carlos. First of all, I think Sergio is one of the best drivers we've got in the sport at the moment. He does awesome things. Like, he's so smooth. He's so relaxed. I love everything about the dude.
You're going to say Sergio's smooth when Mr. Smooth Operator is Carlos Sainz.
Yeah, and spun and binned it a couple of times last year.
That's fair.
Like, we saw Checo bin it twice. Both times were in Monaco. Once in qualifying and once when he hopped out of the car. That was it. Those were the only two.
Was it? No, he binned it in Canada.
Nah, I didn't see that. Anyway.
There's literally the photo of him walking back through
Number
the
4. He did. And they let him walk like the 5Ks back too. He just walked. Because on an island, he was just walking on the bank.
Yeah, it's kind of funny.
Look, it was a great shot. Number 4.
You go first.
George Russell.
I got Lewis.
I got George there because I refused to put him any higher.
I've got Lewis there because I don't think he beats the Milky Bar kid this year.
I think he does. And we went through that so much last week. We both argued the complete opposite point. And like, I can see your logic. And I know you're too stubborn to see mine, but I know I'm correct. George is in 4th. That Mercedes is going to come out good.
Oh, I think that Mercedes is going to be good too.
Yep. Should we talk about their livery while we're here? Because we saw it finally.
Oh, I think it's the best livery this year.
I don't. I like it.
Well, you're wrong, but it's the best.
I'm not.
It's the GOAT.
It's good. It's
the best.
really good.
It's the best one.
Black Mercedes are nicer than silver Mercedes any day of the week.
Yeah.
The only reason I'm not saying it the nicest, and I know this is ridiculous because I love Red Bull. So what I'm about to say is incredibly hypocritical. It's not my number 1 livery because we've seen it before. And I know that is bullshit.
It is bullshit because we haven't seen this specific black Mercedes before. We haven't.
You're right, we haven't.
We have seen that Red Bull, though, every year since it came into the goddamn sport.
Yes.
I mean, maybe 2014 onwards, actually.
When they weren't matte, yeah.
Yeah, but more to the point, it's been the same.
Yes.
Goddamn livery.
Yep.
And now their F2 drivers are running the same goddamn livery.
Yep.
So therefore, the Mercedes is inherently better because it is at least different to the last black Mercedes and the black Mercedes before that.
You're correct. But Red Bull's not my favorite livery of the year.
I know. You, for some reason, really like the Alfa Romeo
It's the best. It's enough black that you should like it with sexy red on it. It is the love child of Ferrari and Mercedes. 2 of the nicest looking cars of all time. They went, let's just do both what they're doing.
What is your obsession with the color red and teams that you like?
Because red goes faster. With the Dragons, it means you go to jail quicker than any other NRL team. Because there was another fucking one that got arrested the other day.
On top of the fight after the Charity Shield at 6 a.m. in the morning.
Look,
did you hear, we'll probably talk about this on Bums on the Bench, but did you hear the excuse that Ravalawa gave?
Yeah, they were so drunk they didn't remember it.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, red's a good colour. I own nothing red in my entire life.
The only thing that I own that is red is my Bulls jerseys, my little bit of red on my shoes, and my Roosters jerseys.
And I tell you what, they are quickly, and I say quickly, and by that I mean fastly, dropping down the table in the NBA.
I want them to tank. I am now full on no lose every game going forward this year.
Right.
We'll talk about it tomorrow.
3.
Milky Bar Kid.
Charles Leclerc.
What is wrong with you?
Nothing.
Everything.
Nothing. Ferrari
will get her.
Yes. But they're still Ferrari.
They are Ferrari with a Frenchman in charge.
Valid point.
The last time they had a Frenchman in charge, they did well.
But I think the 2 drivers I have above him are better. Better drivers.
No, I don't. I know the 2 drivers that you got there. No, I don't think one of them is. I think at this stage of his career, he's exactly where I put him. In 4th. Behind the Milky Bar Kid. And the only reason I put the Milky Bar Kid there is we seen last year that he will always go against team orders and demand that they just do what he wants. Because I want the red tires. I want those red tires. You see that car in front of me that's red? I want the color tires out of that.
Look, yeah, fair point. Fair
Milky
point.
Bar Kid will beat Lewis this year.
He won't.
He will. He'll get wins. Lewis won't.
You're an idiot. This is why your hair fell out. Because you're an idiot.
You just picked Charles Leclerc in third.
I did. I think it's a very good spot for him.
It's not where he's coming. Go on. How does yours go? Does yours go Lewis, Max, because you can't put anyone above Max?
Yes, exactly.
Well, I've got Max and Charles, bitch. Charles world champion this year.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Final turn at Abu Dhabi 2023. We're going to hear David Croft utter the words, and your champion of the world for the first time, Charles Leclerc.
No, we're simply not. Let's talk about Lewis, because we both got him in second.
No, I don't. I have him in fourth.
Who you got in second? Oh, Max.
I got Max in second because Charles wins.
I've got Lewis in second because, I already spoke about it last week. I think he's going to come out. I'm talking goblin mode, demon mode, whatever mode you want to call it.
Goblin mode. Is he going to hide under the fucking covers this year?
There are no covers this year, baby. That's a fact. There are no tyre covers this year.
There are no tyre covers this year. I did forget about that when I did all 20 of these.
Yeah, no tyre covers. It's just
shit.
Just raw dogging the tyres on the tarmac.
So at the end of the year when it comes out that I'm completely wrong, it's because I forgot about the tyre covers thing.
See, this is how I know you're not confident in your choices, because you're already making up excuses. Do you know what happens if I'm wrong about everything I've said? I go, yep, that feels like every other year.
Exactly.
It's bang on normal for me.
St. George fan, winner.
Cheater.
How am I cheating?
You're getting fucking Edric Lee.
No, we're not.
No, what's the other? Dom Young.
And we just re-signed Victor Radley for 4
Oh, I
years.
swear to God, shut up. Lewis Hamilton's going to have an absolute belter of a year.
No,
Max Verstappen's better.
He's going to have a second year with no wins.
No, he's not. No, he's not.
We're not going to see Lewis win another race.
That's huge. That's a massive call.
No, because he doesn't win another race this year, and he's just like, I'm done.
You reckon? That's big.
If he doesn't win another race this year, he'll retire.
Okay. If he doesn't win another race this year, I reckon he'll retire too.
So when he wins next Sunday,
he comes out and
I'm deleting this episode.
No, the record scratch would be like, just want to let you know I was on like
I was on PCP.
Yeah, I was on something. Dave wrote my numbers.
But Lewis would have been first if Dave wrote him.
It's true. I think Lewis is second. I think Lewis is one of the most complete F1 drivers we've ever seen. I think Max and Red Bull will be better. I know you've said towards the end of the year they might struggle. I can't disagree with you there.
That's why I've done it the way I've done it, though.
Yep.
I think Max leads until Ferrari start making the comeback, and I believe it'll be Ferrari because Charles has no distractions this year.
You're right. He doesn't.
Charlotte's gone. He's got no girlfriend. He's completely single. He is laser focused on one thing.
Yes.
Winning a world title with Ferrari and trying not to crash in Monaco.
Which is why
he's going to do it.
I think this year he's going to crash at Monaco and he'll never be the same again. That'll be it for him.
He'll win this year. He'll win Monaco this year.
I want him to. I'll be happy to see him win Monaco. I like Charles. I don't want to say anything bad about
future
him.
world champion Charles to you.
Yeah, probably. Not this year, though, right?
No, this year he's going to be the world champion.
Max Triple Crown.
Nah.
3.
If he becomes a Triple Crown, I'm going to hate him.
Oh, as I already said last week, I think he's going to get it again, and once he gets it 3 times in a row, I'm going to not support him anymore. I just still think he's going to do it.
Oh, I just think Ferrari's going to do it. What's your 10-1 then, Mr. Smartass?
For teams?
Yeah.
Okay. 10th place.
Williams.
Yes. 9th place.
Haas.
Yes. 8th. Yes.
I didn't think that far out. McLaren.
No. AlphaTauri. Then McLaren in 7th.
No, I've got AlphaTauri in 7th.
Oh, okay, nice. What's your 8th?
McLaren.
All right, cool. 6th.
Aston.
Same. 5.
The team that's in 5th. Forgot what team it was. Alpha. Romeo.
Same. Yep. 4th.
Alpine.
Yep. Same. 3rd.
Red Bull.
Ferrari.
Actually, No, mine makes sense.
Yep. Yours adds up. Second,
Mercedes.
Red Bull.
First Ferrari. Double world champion.
First, Mercedes. I think they're going to get the world drivers again. And
Well, teams, you dickhead.
yeah, that's what I said. World champ. No, world constructors.
Actually, you know what? It'd make more sense for it to be Mercedes wins at my one.
Yeah.
Where I've got Milky Bar and Lewis.
Yeah.
So it'll be Ferrari then Mercedes.
Because that's the thing, right? All the drivers are individuals. The best team unit we've ever seen in this sport
Is
has been
Mercedes.
under Toto Wolff.
Yeah.
Like, plain and simple. No one else has been able to dominate a sport like this the way that man has. He is incredible. I hope that dude writes a book one day.
It's called How I Did It. The
Yeah.
story of how I cheated the system.
Is it Toto Wolff, how to write emails for dummies? And when it says dummies, it's just a photo of Michael.
Oh, rough.
I like Michael Massive, but that's how we do it.
Why you got to do him like that?
I didn't do him like shit. It's what Toto would do.
Rude.
Well, we agree on quite a few things.
I was actually shocked at how similar we are. We're not completely the same.
No,
But we're very close.
we are very close, but also, like, it's Formula One. It's an inherently shit and boring motorsport. Like, the same
That's
thing
true.
happens. I am putting you on the spot right now.
Okay.
I want 3 wild card predictions for the year. Give me 3 things that are going to happen.
Before the summer break, Daniel Ricciardo announced to Red Bull.
Fuck, that's huge. All right, I like it.
You want something wild? That's wild.
That is wild.
Lawrence Stroll fires his son.
You are speaking my language. I like this, man. I like this. Lawrence Stroll fires his son out of a cannon. There's my prediction. He doesn't get fired from driving. He gets fired out of a cannon.
Paul di Resta finds a way to get on the coverage.
Oh, 100%.
There's your 3 wild predictions.
Okay, here's my wild prediction. I'm going to base some of my own off yours. Paul di Resta and Nico Rosberg become a couple. You've never seen anybody's like it. They'll be on.
They'll be on the mediums.
They'll be.
They get the medium
I
content.
was going to say. I was going to like. Nico Costa. Yeah. That's exactly fucking joke I was going to make. Look, my second prediction is the same one I will make every year until it happens. Do you remember what the one I always bring up is?
No.
Christian and Toto kiss.
Ah, yeah, fair.
Every year. Like, it's not as spicy, but this year the spice is back and not Ginger Spice. She's always fucking there. The other one.
Posh Spice?
No.
I don't know any of the other Spice Girls. I know Ginger Spice and Posh Spice. That's it.
You've got Scary Spice. You've got... I went to... This is so off topic. I went to uni and one of my friends at uni, I won't say his name, got really drunk one night and he was like, I have a confession to make to everybody. And we're like, all right, go for it. And this is a dude who's really into horses. And he was like, I used to pretend I was part of the Spice Girls. And I was like, what was your Spice name? And he straight up went, Horse Spice. It was fantastic. It was one of the best. And I love that dude. I would never forget that night where he was like, yeah, I'm Horse Spice.
Horse Spice.
Fan-fucking-tastic. And my third prediction, Daniel Ricciardo, confirmed.
What?
Just confirmed.
No, that is too ambiguous. Way too ambiguous.
Confirmed Red Bull driver. Max Verstappen retires after he gets 3.
I don't see that happening. He'll stay till the end of the contract.
We said wild card.
That's fair, but I think Max will stay till the contract ends and then he'll move on to something else. I think this contract he signed was his last F1 one.
Especially with the success he's had, right? Like,
he's already done everything he wanted to achieve, and he's even said that he's done everything he wanted to achieve in F1.
yeah, which was win a world championship. He never cared about like winning more than one.
He's
He just
definitely
wanted to
more
win one.
successful than his father.
True. It's not hard.
It wasn't. He just had to win one race, didn't he?
Yeah, win one race and not punch anyone. Well, that's not true. He punched Ocon. Well, he didn't. He pushed him.
He pushed him. We
Also,
should have punched him.
I didn't bring this up, when we were talking about Alpine, but I wanted to. Pierre would towel Ocon up in a fight.
Oh, easily.
100%.
Ocon's a twig.
Also, did you see the photo they released of them together? I think they edited Pierre's arms because his hands and arms are massive in it. His driver photo.
Are you sure he's just not pictured next to pictured next to Twig Boy Ocon? We should call Ocon Twig Boy.
Twig boy.
Twig Boy.
No, we'll get something better. Baguette boy. But they're both baguette boys.
Yeah, they're both baguette. This is what Twig Boy works because he's a twig.
All right, let's wrap this up. We're just talking mad shit.
That's fine.
Like us on social media.
Did you forget what you needed to say?
No, I was just being dramatic. We're at Formula Bums on everything but Twitter because I'm an idiot.
Yes.
And we're at Bums Formula there,
Follow us on our other show at Bums on the Bench everywhere.
where we talk about...
Anything and everything. There'll be more footy talk because we got a lot to talk about on the next episode.
We do. It's probably a bad time to tell you, but I'm in Bombardary tomorrow.
Oh, fuck.
You and Josh can do it. We'll get Mac on. And yeah, thank you for listening with us. Tell someone about us. Or not. But thank you anyway. Yeah, we can't control you. If we could, you'd all be wearing Red Bull merch.
Yeah, pretty much.
Thank you for listening, my friends. We will see you next week.
So,